me a say that no cargo, me a say yo, Sunsplash make sure. I me a say Selector Princess, DJ Prince, Radio Land no good.
Welcome to the Sunsplash Mix Show. I am Selector Princess.
I am Ja Prince, and we've been doing this podcast for many years, but I think this is the first time. No, it's not the first time. We have an inspirational artist, another Jamaican. Now, Selector Princess is always touring. And in Jamaica, you were at which event?
Yaxter's launch, the Tutu album, and we had a grand time, didn't we?
Yes, it was. It really was. Yes, I enjoyed it.
And ironically, you have the lead single and your first ever single on Bulby York's project, Time and Color. So, congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And let us know, tell us about how you got involved with the project and your single, Here, Oh Lord.
Yes. So I've known Bulby for quite some time now, a few years now. And around COVID, we started collaborating on music because we both love music and realized that we had a lot in common with music. So I would send voice notes to him because he would always be like, I'm looking for this song, or, inspire me with something, send something to me. And I would do voice notes, send to him, and he would send to other artists. And if they accepted it, then they'd sing it. So collaborated, wrote a song with Sanchez on that Bulby produced on his last album called Love, Wonderful Love. So that was really good to kind of, get me going, because it was something I've been doing since I was a child, and then around as a teenager, I just didn't get the chance or the opportunity to continue with that, to make that a part of my life. And just getting back on that was, I was really honored, and I worked hard. And last year I was in Jamaica, and he's like, "Hey, why don't you come in the studio? Let's see so you could see what it's like. I've never been in a studio before." And he's like, "That song that you sent me, Hear, O Lord," because it's a very old song, which has a lot of meaning to me, and I'm quite certain that you know that song. And so I was like, no, it took half an hour later, I got up and I started singing it and just sang it through and through. And, at that moment, I felt what I was going through the song, and just started to sing it as if I was saying, Lord, hear, O Lord, and every aspect of that song has meaning to each and every one of us. So, or to someone, especially for me. And then he told me, "Oh yeah, I'm recording it. So we're gonna voice you." And
Yeah.
so he caught me good there. Because I was like, oh, he did it the right way, or else I don't think
I've done it.
That's Bulby.
Yeah. And so that push really opened up my heart and my spirit more, and wanted to really see that I was called for this, to inspire people in what I write, in what I do. So that's how that started.
That's good. Very, very good. Now, people are going to ask again, coming out of Jamaica, Stacey Mirander, seriously, why couldn't it just be a pure reggae song or a pure gospel song? You're somewhere in the middle with inspirational music. Was that organized, or just sort of?
No, it's just me. Meeting me in person, Selecta Princess can tell you. Very zen personality, very down to earth, very loving, kind, and nurturing. So, and that, of course, God is a part of my life, but there are other things, other components of my life that, I'd like to share with people, whether it's about love or struggles or whatever it is that I'm going through. So for me, music has always been a part of me since I've known myself. I'm always humming or singing, and it didn't matter which artist or what kind of music. Once I heard the rhythm and the beat, and you know, and being in church as well, that's where I started singing. I'd sing at crusades and conventions and funerals, prisons, in the hospital, and play the tambourine. And yes, I still play the tambourine. But know every hymn in the songbook, in the hymn book, song in the hymn book, and that kind of thing. It brought a lot of pleasure for me. And then of course the church where I grew up in, it was right next to the dance hall. So when you're having Sunday church, you're hearing other things.
Yeah.
Then it puts you to bed at night because church over, and you're like, oh, especially when closed down time and them gone to soft music, and how
Mm,
could you not like that? Don't
Yeah.
speak to you. So that's why I label myself as an inspirational artist, because I might meet you and you might be going through something, and I might just sing a little song for you, and you're like, oh my gosh,
Touch.
so yes, yes.
inspiration.
Well, I have to say, there's a lot of gifted geniuses who have said some really kind words about you. How does that make you feel without me naming the names, of course?
Hmm. I feel very blessed, to be honest. I needed to hear that, because after you have this dream and you're amped up about it, and then it dead, you're like, oh well, and then you get a chance to it come back around, and you're like, I'm taking it. What do I need to do? What do I need to learn? So for me, I'm learning things quicker than at a normal pace, because when you're at a certain age and not being drafted up in the music industry from a young age, they expect that you should know everything already,
Right.
and not having a clue about much. I ask questions and I listen and I take telling.
Ah,
So so yes, I'm honored to have that those words and those feedback about me. Thank you.
There you go. That's what it is. Because sometimes we're gonna use that word new artist, new project, new music. And we're just kind of, well, they've been doing it since seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth form. And you're like, no, this is really new for Stacey Miranda. And how do you portray that on social media? You show them behind the scenes, like, yeah, man, it's the first man I did this.
Yeah, working on the social media part, I have Selector Princess to really thank for that. I need a little more oomph. I'm very nervous with social media stuff. I don't know. I really am. I'm trying. I'm really trying. So, what you've seen me put out there, I have a force pushing me. It's not me. I have people who are like, okay,
yeah.
you're going to do this and do this by yourself. You
Right,
can do this.
right.
So yes, because you're coming from a person who's like super private and stuff like that. So you're like, yes. So
Good.
Well, your musical background has certainly led you to be a songwriter and also a singer, and now your first single on Time and Color. Is there a video out?
yes, there is. There's a video out on YouTube. It was released 2 weeks ago. Um,
Very
wonderful job.
colorful. I mean, we spend time. Which where you shoot the video?
So the video was shot in Clarendon. That's where I was raised. That's where my parents did a lot of missionary work growing up. And the beginning of the video is actually in my backyard. And then the part where the mangroves are is a place I used to dive off and swim, of course, with all them crocodiles. But
Yeah.
um, yes, and then of course, the third part of it, like where you see the cave, is where the locals would get our drinking water from. Jamaica
Oh,
has a lot of natural springs, so
yes.
never really grew up drinking pipe water because we have
Oh,
a
wow.
spring.
Yes.
So it was very meaningful to me to actually to introduce them as well, the videographers, and say, hey, I have a couple spots, I'd like to show you.
Mhm.
Um, the building background of that building that you saw in the video as well, that is shown in the video as well. It's where that used to be a factory where employed a lot of people, and we used to supply Lee's linen and other stores all over Jamaica. So yes, so everything that you saw represented a piece of me. Yes,
Absolutely beautiful. And what platform can we watch that video on?
on YouTube.
On
Yes,
YouTube. Is it Bulby York Music?
it's Bulby York Vivo and Stacey Mirander, Hero Lord Stacey Mirander, Bulby York. Yes,
Excellent.
Got it.
Excellent.
Got it.
you,
Because you know
you
some
haven't
that.
seen the video yet.
Nah, that's, I
Mm,
want to see the
You
Bulby.
haven't seen the video yet.
no,
You're going to love it.
no. I believe I will. The way you described it, I could visualize that there's definitely time and color laced throughout that video.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
definitely indeed, and had the support of the community as
Mm.
well. Some of the ladies that helped to sew what I was wearing and put together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it comes with a lot of passion. So
Good.
you'd see it. Yes, so they did a good job. It was a good team.
Good. It certainly shows. Would you let everyone know how they can reach you on social media?
Uh, Instagram at Stacey Mirander. Facebook, Stacey Mirander, and the rest I'm working on.
Okay.
There you
Well,
go.
how about you spell Miranda? Because it's spelled as it sound, but you never know.
I know. So
Yeah.
Stacey, Stacey, Mirander, Mirander. Thank you.
That sounds good. Now you know sometimes they gotta throw the hardball questions at me to make me the bad guy. All right. So Miss Stacey Miranda, we need to know. Again, it couldn't be a little dancehall remix. You couldn't get like a little remix for Ear My Lord. You know, hear like dancehall in the thing, no? You know, hear that?
Ja Prince, I would love for you to enjoy the song as it was produced and sung. And there will be many more coming out that
Ah,
you're going to just say, I think I like it this way.
yeah.
There you go.
So,
I like
yes,
it. I like it. And you're definitely working with hearing a little Dean Fraser in it, hear a little bubbler. Like
yes,
it's
yes,
industry
yes,
standards of some icons. So yes, it
yes,
Oh,
kinda nice
yes,
house. It's nice.
yes. I'm nice though. Yes,
very
it's brilliant. It really is how it was composed and put together. It was I was just shocked. Like, wow, this is how it works. And to get to see that, to see them at work, I was just, I was mesmerized by it and I loved it. Yes.
All right.
what a first memory. Although it's your first single, but not the first project that you worked with Bulby York. I mean Sanchez. That
Beautiful.
speaks for itself.
Yes.
So
Seriously.
kudos to you and your spirit, your creative spirit in pushing you forward. I did hear though, you're working on an EP?
Yes, I am. About 6 or 7 songs. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Some of them, a few of them I've written, and the rest are like renditions. So,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Not bad. There we go. There we go. Always progressing. More
Mhm.
music on the way. Maybe there's another dancehall remix. Because again, Stacy, since it's just us talking,
All right, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Miss, Miss,
I'm going to think about it.
there you go. So Miss
You
Miranda, they
know?
always want to know. If
Yeah.
it's just
Okay.
yourself as an artist, can't you just sing some lovey-dovey? Don't go into no serious social commentary. How do you feel that artists of nowadays should you be able to create music that touches a political button, a social button, or is it just no? I just want to sing some lovey-dovey songs.
No, for me, music should send a message on every aspect, not just on love or feelings, but what people are going through, what's going on in the world, politics itself. Because remember, coming back for many years, music, they use that to send a message, to communicate with each other. And they would be like, okay, this is what they're saying, this line, that line, especially when they were doing things, that they didn't want other cultures to know about.
Right.
So yes, even in the way that our ancestors, the Maroons, how they sang their song, it was a message going out to others to understand that, hey, listen, this is what's going on. And I totally agree with you on that, that music should it's been around for so long. It's been such a high influence. I think it's the only tool that we can use right now to get that message across.
Universal.
Nice.
Yes, it is universal language. Yes. Like,
Thank you for taking the time there, Miss Stacy, on
Yeah.
the
I
Sunsplash.
appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll keep in touch because we do want to hear about that EP coming up in the future.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you both.